Hello, this is Postdoc Chronicles week number 20. All right, so that makes it like 5 months of my postdoc here in South Africa. So, is that correct? May, June, July, August, September. That's right. So, around 5 months. So, as you can see, time flies really fast. So, like, I've already been here 5 months, and currently we're already submitted an abstract for the Kruger conference this coming December. So I'm still doing the stuff related to the analysis of the stealth supersymmetry. In particular, I am now using Rivet analysis to zoom into the Bino mass. Okay, so Bino is basically a particle in SUSY. It's like the super partner of the U1 gauge field. Okay, in the weak interactions. Okay, and so what I'm doing is I'm looking at different observables that can look at or what do you call this zoom into its mass, because in trying to predict, or in trying to like search for particles, you don't like dictate that the particle that I have, I know its mass beforehand. Okay, so of course, since we are what do you call this since we are uh, producing it via programs. Okay, we are simulating it. We give the what they call this the so far the lower bound mass that it could have from literature. Okay, but still we would like to see how other observables affect that mass, and it's these observables that we introduce cuts into instead of the mass itself. Okay, so that's what I'm currently doing now in my postdoc research. So editing a lot of Revit analysis for that specific Bino search. Okay, but anyway, what I want to also relate for this postdoc chronicles is the fact that I've finally decided to obtain a new iPad. Okay, from the because recently I got the compensation from Ryanair for having canceled my flight going to Poland in order to witness that Iron Maiden concert. So on top of the refund of the flight ticket and all this stuff, they gave on top of that a compensation amounting to like around $300. Okay, and using that money, I bought it for a new iPad, basically a new tablet for it. Okay, so what we have here, I have this tablet. This is the Samsung Galaxy Tab 8.0, which was like released back in 2013. I got it like I didn't get it brand new. I got it around like 2015 and for second hand. Okay, so I got it for like around 6,000 pesos, and during the time, so getting a tablet for like 6,000 pesos is really very good, and especially what I wanted it for is for the for its stylus support. Okay, so before this I had another tablet that was smaller, and even before that I have an earlier tablet, my very first tablet, which was a Cherry Mobile. Okay, so before that I really did not see the point to having a tablet. So during that time, that's the reason why I bought the Cherry Mobile, is I wanted to experiment if tablet is really that useful. So I buy that cheap Cherry Mobile tablet. During that time, it's like 2K. So I paid for like 2,000 pesos for this very shitty tablet, but I tried using it. I really enjoy it a lot. Like I read a lot of like Scientific Americans there. This colored comics, and then colored magazines and so on. You can do that on the tablet. Okay, and so with that, I decided, so having a tablet is not like, even if I already have a phone or a laptop, it's not that redundant at all. Okay, so I decided to buy. I was like invited to this as a guest speaker to some, I believe it's like a high school place, okay, in Quezon City, and then they gave me like some sort of like gift or something for talking in their like recognition program or whatever. And using that money, I bought my very first branded tablet, which was a Samsung as well, but the smaller one. Okay, and then eventually, after using that many times, I decided that a tablet would be more useful if I have it with a stylus. So that's why I bought this one with a stylus right here. And the old tablet, I gave it to my younger brother. It's still with him until now. And the reason why I know that this tablet is like, I bought this in 2015. So one of the things that I did to this tablet is, so you can like draw stuff using the stylus. And this one of the things that I draw, okay, using this. Let me show this to you. It's like a brief tutorial on how to draw a lion. Okay, so as you can see there, so it starts out like really nasty, really bad, but basically I'm showing you how to draw a lion. Okay, so it's like the outlines of a lion. So you first draw its nose, and then the eyes, and then the mouth, some whiskers, and then the mane. Okay, so that's how you draw a lion. And I really had so much fun with this application, because while you're drawing or you're doing something, you can actually record what you're doing. Okay, so this right here is a lion. Okay, and in fact, most of my like YouTube stuff that I do, like some solving, and I use this extensively, like a big portion of my like PhD dissertation, some of the calculations that I did there are in this tablet. So I really use that stylus extensively. But just recently I noticed that, so the stylus is really not that, it doesn't look like an ordinary pen. It's really thin, and if you use it like for a very long time, it gets a bit uncomfortable. Okay, so if you this is like an ordinary pen. If you compare it, it's really thin, it's really short, and it's not that comfortable, but still it served its purpose while I was using it. But yeah, lately it's becoming like a little bit slow and wonky. So that really helped me decide to get the latest iPad. So the choices I have for the iPad. So recently, like just this year, I believe March or April, Apple announced the latest base iPad model, which is the sixth generation iPad, which supported the Apple Pencil. So I had a choice between an Apple Pro, which cost insanely huge. It's like 600, upwards of $600. So it's like entering laptop territory, versus the base model, which is like around $300. I believe it's $329. Okay, so I really thought about it a lot. Yeah, iPad Pro is really good. It has a faster processor, it has a better screen, and so on. The base model for the Pro is like 10.5, the diagonal 10.5 inches. This one, this tablet, the Samsung one, is actually 8.0. Okay, and so I was thinking, do I get the iPad Pro or the base iPad model, which is 9.7? Okay, and so the base model at $329. The nice thing about that base model is that it is the first Apple iPad, which is non-Pro, that supports the Apple Pencil. So before they released that, you can only, if you want to use the Apple Pencil, then you have to buy the Pro. Okay, but now since I have that option, then that's what I went for. And the nice thing is that the base model, the $329, it's 32 gigs. Okay, but if you want the next model is 128 gig, but that's, you're gonna add like another $100 on it. Okay, so I was thinking, so do I get the 128 gig or the 32 gig one? Okay, I decided, since I'm still gonna buy the Apple Pencil, which is another $100, I decided to go for the 32 gig. And the reason is that, so what do I really use the iPad typically? So typically I only use iPads for like, yes, sometimes I watch movies in there and stuff, animes, but usually I just use it for like reading colored PDFs, non-fiction stuff like scientific papers and so on, and writing stuff. And these things don't cost a lot of memory. Okay, usually I put some music in there, but I have a dedicated like music player, which is an iPad Classic, which is 160 gigs. So if I like do in-depth music listening, I usually go with that. Sometimes I just use, if I have tablets, I only put like recent albums in there, but my music library, I have a dedicated like iPad Classic for it. Okay, and so with that decision, so now I'm getting the base model, and then I decided I'm also getting the 32 gig one. I went ahead and go for the space gray model, which matched the color of my MacBook Pro. And as you can see, it's the 32 gig model. Okay, and of course with it I also bought an Apple Pencil. Okay, because this is really like the main thing that I wanted for the new base model iPad, is it's able to support the Apple Pencil. And again, the nice thing with the Apple Pencil is that it really feels like an actual pen or an actual pencil, as opposed to the Samsung one, which is very thin and it's uncomfortable to use. So I've been using this like for the like 2 3 days that I have my iPad, and it's really good. Okay, and of course I have my iPad right here. It now has its own casing. This is the new Samsung Galaxy. As you can see, it's a bit bigger, and man, it's like the screen is really good for the. So again, I've been reading a lot of reviews, watching YouTube videos. Yes, the iPad Pro has a better screen, the quality of the screen. But if this like your first iPad, and if you don't own, you really notice the difference in screen quality if you own both of them, or if you compare them side by side. But in and of itself, this iPad one has a very nice screen, and man, it really writes very well. So I've already like uploaded a trial video on how the pencil support works. But man, it really, the pencil writing of this stuff right here is really, it's really outstanding. I mean, it really feels like writing on an actual pen and stuff. So if you're really curious, watch like some YouTube videos out there detailing like the feel of using the base model iPad with the Apple Pencil. And again, I don't regret buying it. Again, that's the reason. One of the reasons why I bought this as well is because this is like my, instead of missing Iron Maiden, I got this instead. Okay, because basically the money that I used for buying this is the compensation from Ryanair. Okay, so now I have a new iPad, and I can now continue churning out YouTube videos that involves solving some integrals and some number theory stuff. Okay, so yeah, so that's it for the week number 20 of my Postdoc Chronicles, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye, and thanks for watching.